Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the VT podcast. I'm your host today, Adamonator, or Adam, care. I'm joined with basically a regular at this point, Marcus.
Hello.
And he was introduced last week despite not being here, Cosa.
Yellow.
Yeah, Jack thought you were going to be here last time, so... You're the first name that he mentions.
Oh yeah, no, I was a little bit busy, but
That's
a lot more
fair.
free now.
That's fair. So we'll do as we did last week. We'll talk about the Kingdom Hearts series as a whole. This time from Cosa's perspective. So yeah, we'll start with Kingdom Hearts 1. Cosa, what's your history with the series?
Oh boy. I've been pretty much following the series since day one. Got introduced to it by my uncle, funny enough. He used to play a lot of PlayStation 2 games, and I just kind of happened to walk in on him playing Kingdom Hearts 1 one day. And then he got me a copy of the game like a week later. It's funny because the main reason that game series kind of caught my attention was because I confused Sora with Goku for a second because of his hairstyle. So,
he does kind of look like a Danny Goku.
Yeah. So, I quickly made the distinction after getting into the games, but, like, before then I was like, oh, they gave Goku a key-shaped sword, and he's here with these Disney characters. And Uncle was like, well, not quite, but... Yeah.
No, that makes sense. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1, was there anything in particular you liked about that one?
Not really a lot to not like. I would say I mainly liked the kind of, like, adventure aspect of it all. It seems to have more of that than the other entries in the series, so that's one thing I really like about Kingdom Hearts 1. But there's a lot to like about that one.
Yeah, I think we were saying, it's a lot more platformy than the others.
Yeah, there's that too. The only thing that I pretty much like everything except for, like, some of the stuff with combat being a little more clunky, but, like, yeah.
It was a solid start, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So were there any worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1 that you particularly liked?
Probably mainly Traverse Town. That's where I spend a majority of my time when I'm playing the game.
Yeah, Traverse Town is pretty fun, yeah.
That's like the home base of the world of the whole game. When you need to go back and re-equip items, when you need to just chill and figure out what you want to do next.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I go. I start off, like, going there usually, then grinding for a little bit, and then going to, like, the Olympus Coliseum, so just kind of going back and forth between those two.
I'm going to break the fourth wall here, and this is staying in the podcast now. I told the guys to bring their voice down because it was peaking. Cosa, you did a great job. Perfect. The moment Marcus started speaking, just peak.
And just like that, I went ahead and turned down the gain on my microphone.
That's pretty good. Anything in the first game you didn't like?
Like I said, mainly the gameplay. It was just a little clunky compared to the other entries. One of my main complaints, which you'll see in, like, a lot of, like, playthroughs, like Team 4-Star's playthrough, is, like, the stuff with the lock-on camera not really following the enemies. They fixed that in, like, the later installments, but Kingdom Hearts 1, they just... That camera, man, that camera's your enemy.
Well, I think the reason for it was that wasn't Kingdom Hearts 1 one of the pioneers for 3D gaming?
Oh yeah, no, that was, like, I'm pretty sure that was Square's first real 3D RPG. It was certainly a
true 3D. Kingdom Hearts,
certainly one of their first, like,
Final Fantasy X wasn't it?
Did that come out before?
Well, Tidus is in both, so yeah.
Oh yeah, that did come out before. Well, okay. So I'll say one of their first 3D action RPG.
Sure. And then the least likely action RPG game that they have, the Chain of Memories. I didn't really know where I was going to go with that one. Chain of Memories. Did you play that one, or did you skip over it?
I skipped over it at first, and like most people, was lost when I got into Kingdom Hearts 2. But no, I did go back and play that one. Yeah, it was mainly because I had a Game Boy, but I didn't realize that a Kingdom Hearts game came out on the Game Boy.
Well, that one did.
So,
everyone saw that and thought, oh, it's a spin-off game. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know it existed until I walked into GameStop one day, and they were like, oh, there's a Kingdom Hearts game on Game Boy. And I was like, what? And then I found out, oh, it's between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and yeah.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts 2, then, anything you want to talk about that one?
Gameplay-wise, that is my absolute favorite. Everything else, I mean, it's close to the top, but it's not my absolute favorite. But, no, yeah, I mean, like, and even then, the game didn't really ascend to one of my favorites until the Final Mix version came out, just because of all the stuff that added.
When you say favorite, do you mean favorite game or favorite Kingdom Hearts game?
Well, so my favorite game series of all time is Kingdom Hearts. So my favorite game is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
Right.
But like gameplay wise is my favorite Kingdom Hearts.
Right. Okay. We'll come back to Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Were there anything in Kingdom Hearts 2 that you enjoyed? Like any moments?
Anything that involved the Final Fantasy characters. Because around the time when I was playing that, I was really getting into Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X, just the whole series in general. So seeing characters like Auron show up was like a huge thing for me, or seeing Advent Children Cloud working alongside Squall was like a big thing for me.
Oh god, yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, I never really played Final Fantasy games, so I don't know who any of these people were.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, it came out around like the perfect time that I was going through like my edgy phase. So I I was like wearing like all black, and you know, it was like constantly like, you know, sitting there like, Sasuke's my favorite anime character of all time. You know, it was like just listening to Linkin Park all day. And,
oh my!
It's a different time. It was a different time. It was a different time. Yep. Watching like only thing I watched on YouTube was AMVs with like In the End or something like that.
That was a popular phase.
Yeah.
Basically, any AMVs that had Linkin Park or Evanescence, and you were basically
yes. That was my personality around that
Occasionally
time.
you get like Papa Roach thrown in there or something.
Yep.
3 Days Grace.
Yep. 3 Days Grace. Maybe some Limp Bizkit. I don't know. Yes.
Oh god. Can we bring back the AMV, but instead of having edgy songs like Limp Bizkit or Evanescence or whatever, can we
J-pop.
have like an AMV involving Weird Al songs, or like Pitbull?
An AM.
Like, it's just
well, so I mean, AMVs are still like a widely made thing. It's just they tend to fall into like the fan cam kind of category, but like
an AMV.
Yeah,
with
but like
Costa
if
singing "Kiss the Girl."
right? I mean, so if they did I would be down for like some AMVs with Weird Al songs. That'd be interesting. But I feel like if anyone did that, it would end up being like Transformers or something like that, just because of that series' history with that artist. But you know,
of course, yeah. Moving on to the next game, 358 over 2 days.
That one that's actually my second favorite Kingdom Hearts game overall, just because of the story.
Yeah,
I do genuinely love that game. I picked up that game day one and found out about the fact that it was even being made through a Game Informer magazine that I still have. It's somewhere off in my closet, but yeah, no, that game holds a special place in my heart.
Well, I think I actually said this in episode 0, but Days Coded and Birth by Sleep were all announced at the same time.
Seriously, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I actually remember that the day that happened, because at that point I'd only played 1 and 2. I'm like, oh well, 3's going to be on the way at some point, because everyone thought 3 was coming after that Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix trailer.
Yeah, I remember. Oh god, I remember when everyone thought that was Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, and then when they announced, the next Kingdom Hearts game, boom, it's 3 that's coming now, and none of them are Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. I remember I thought that 358 was Kingdom Hearts 3 for a second because of the number 3 in the title, and I was like, oh my god, it's Kingdom Hearts 3!
Okay.
Roxas is the main character of KH3?
Right, I was confused about that, but, you know,
I mean,
of course that wasn't the case.
from the way the
I don't
fandom
know.
treats him, he may as well be.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you love the story of Days. Gameplay's not great.
It's not the best, but I honestly think out of all the portable Kingdom Hearts games, it might be the best, if not the second best.
I'm guessing behind Birth by Sleep in your case.
Actually,
No, Chain of
behind
Memories, come
Recoded.
What?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed Recoded's gameplay the
Really?
most as far as the mobile games go.
Actually, to be fair, I do actually like playing Coded.
Yes.
It's not fun. The story's not good.
Oh no, it's not. The story's dog water, but the
But
gameplay's not bad.
no, I will admit, yeah, because they didn't have a risk-reward system, so you could amplify the difficulty in order to get more stuff. But not only that, like your module, which had all your you put your level ups in. If you unlocked certain modules, you could put your level down to level 1, or you can make the enemies up to 16 times harder, or something stupid like that.
The way I looked at it was the perfect blend of Birth by Sleep and Days in terms of that play.
Going back to Birth by Sleep, then your favorite one is that
definitely
is that from the PlayStation Portable days or the remake?
Yep, PlayStation Portable days. I got that day one. I remember I actually got it as a gift from my uncle. It had like the cool collector sleeves and everything. Still have it.
Nice.
But no, that was that is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. Mainly just because of the story. Like that trio is my favorite trio out of any of the trios in Kingdom Hearts. And
definitely had the best girl.
Trios.
Oh yeah, and I mean, funny enough, out of all of them, I think my favorite character was Terra, but that's just because I love Star Wars. So, you know,
Terra's the worst one.
I mean, he is. I think the main reason I really loved him,
who is very dark, covered in a black cloak, very clearly wants to kill someone. Maybe they could be my friend.
Oh yeah, no, I think the main reason I liked him is because it's kind of a Star Wars thing. His story mirrors that of Anakin from Star Wars. So he's like the whole naive, like, oh, I want to be master. My master didn't make me master. There's this guy in like dark clothing that says he'll make me a master. All right, yeah, I guess I'll follow him. And everything goes awry.
That's fair. Oh god, things are beeping. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned Star Wars. Bloody Mark Hamill voiced Ericus, didn't he?
Ericus,
oh yeah, it was Mark Hamill as Ericus, and then it was Leonard Nimoy who is Spock in Star Trek as Xehanort.
Maybe
so it was like it was like the ultimate Star Wars versus Star Trek. There's a lot of fans of those series like to do.
It was kind of ironic that they put the Star Wars as the guy in white, the Star Trek as the guy in black. It should have been the other way around.
Has the darkness taken you, Tara?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, kinda.
That was one thing too with that game. I absolutely hated Ericus just because of his whole blanket, oh, the darkness is bad, and oh, the second you show any dark tendencies, die. That's.
Yeah, it was very. In his case, it was very black and white. Whereas Xehanort, they did try and make him more empathetic, but he was also black and white. It's just that his was white and black.
It was weird with him because I did find myself kind of empathizing more with what Xehanort was saying, because he was like, oh, the light exists and everything, the light's cool, but darkness can't be destroyed. It can be channeled, but you can't just up and destroy it. You need it to you need the light and dark to coexist. And it was like, oh well, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, that's fair. Should we move on to the next game, which is 3D?
I think that
Or Recoded.
I thought it was Recoded.
We talked about Recoded, didn't we?
You guys just said you like the combat.
Oh yeah, I mean we kind of already went over that. Yeah,
Yeah.
At least
That's all there is to say about the
That's all
game.
there is to say.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so with
Bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah, so I mean, with Dream Drop Distance, funny enough, you might think that Recoded might be my least favorite game. It's actually Dream Drop Distance. Like this,
I
like,
can
I mean,
understand why.
yeah, the story really wasn't good. It was probably like on par with or worse than Recoded, just because that story could have been completely retold and whatever. And the drop mechanic. Oh my god, the drop mechanic.
I've said this every podcast we've introduced a new person so far, so I just want to know your opinion on it. Do you think Dream Drop Distance would have actually potentially been a really good game, or at least have a good story?
If they would have gone
focused on Riku.
Maybe, but I think they should have gone with what it looked like it was originally going to be, which is like kind of like Mark of Mastery with them kind of re-experiencing their adventures somewhat. Which, yeah, I think that would have been fine, but like them going like through all these sleeping worlds, like a lot of the stories that were in those sleeping worlds didn't really matter. It was kind of like, oh, the story doesn't really matter until the very end.
Although, I will say, I do like the sleeping worlds because...
it doesn't make sense that Tron is suddenly a sleeping world.
Yeah, it allowed them to go with stories that they couldn't really put into the main series.
Yeah. I mean, I will say there were some sleeping worlds I did like. Like I did
could have put Hunchback in the main series. You're crazy.
I mean, they could have. But
I would say
I did.
Tron,
I did
actually
like
explain the grid one.
Yeah.
So, canonically in Kingdom Hearts, the grid is the main version of the world. It's the Ansem computer version, which was the 80s Tron movie. That was Ansem's modification. So he's the one that modified it into an 80s style Tron. It's just that the original basis for the world is Dream Drop Distance's grid.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the Tron world just because I like that movie Tron Legacy, but
Tron Legacy is amazing.
Yeah.
We should have had Daft Punk.
Yeah, I mean, though with they clearly were trying to do more with that game than than the 3DS could handle, because you had like all those big open spaces that could have had like maybe one or two NPCs, and it's just empty. Like you got like a chest and that's it.
The game was very empty.
Yeah, like I feel like the game was limited by what the 3DS can handle, and if it was like a PS3 game or a PS2 game, I feel like it would have done better.
But it did give us one of the best worlds in all of Kingdom Hearts.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Which one?
Symphony of Sorcery.
Oh yeah.
The Symphony was awesome.
I did like that one. I also liked was it called Prankster's Paradise? I think it was.
Yeah, Prankster's Paradise.
Yeah, I liked that one.
I did like that Sora explored the actual circus, and then Monstro went inside the whale.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Riku went inside the whale, sorry.
Yeah.
Monstro is the whale. Because it made more sense for Riku to go into the whale, because that was the first point where Sora was like, "Hey, you're not being a good meanie beanie."
Yeah, I honestly think that would have been cool for a story if they did focus it on like Riku, and it was like, oh, your Mark of Mastery exam is you confronting that darkness, but
yeah, that would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, I
guess we'll move on to the next final-ish game, 3. The Fated Kingdom Hearts 3. Including the DLC, what were your thoughts?
Okay, including the DLC, then I think it was definitely one of the better games in the series. The base game by itself was... I loved it. I beat it in 2 days when it first came out. I literally took 2 days off of work just so I could beat the game.
Same.
And it was a little bit of a letdown with regards to like the characters being reunited and the way that they did that, but with the DLC, it made it a lot better. Like I don't know, like my opinion of the base game kind of drifted downward when they kind of just brought back Terra like it was nothing. Like I was like, wait, no, it's got to be more complex than that, because technically Xemnas is Terra's body, so really Terra should have aged, but I don't know.
You literally go through and complete the entire game, then suddenly they're like, hey, Aqua's back. Okay, now we got Ventus back. Okay, final world. Hey, Terra's back.
So, yeah, I would have liked it if it was like you did 3 worlds, like the first like chunk of worlds, and it was like, all right, we got Aqua. And we're starting to work on something. Aqua could have even
came with you and actually taught you a few things and helped explore, get the mark.
Right. Kind of like, like mentored you or mentored Kyrie or something, okay. Do 3 more worlds. All right, now we got Ventus back, and we're starting to figure out how to bring back Terra. And I don't know, maybe Shion's kind of lurking around a bit, and then 3 more worlds. Then the big stuff happens. But because they saved all that stuff for the end, it kind of made it feel like the Disney worlds didn't even have to be there. It made it feel like the game should have, or could have just been the Keyblade War segment.
They did integrate the themes of each world a lot better than the other games, in my opinion.
They did. I think they were like
Monstro, for example.
Yeah. Well, I think they were like.
It's just like beeping on my end.
Oh. I think they were like.
Arendelle was the best world.
Well, yeah. I think.
I
think my favorite worlds were. I think my favorite worlds were probably what was it? The Toy Box and Monsters Inc. Just because.
That was sarcasm, by the way.
It felt like those.
Arendelle.
That's fair. But it felt like those worlds were more integrated into the overall story, and then, what was it? Yeah, Arendelle happened, and then it was like, well, okay, that was a throwaway.
We're just going to advertise a movie that's been out for,
for
6 years at this point.
Yeah, and integrate Hans at the last moment, because the original plan for that world was to have Elsa be the antagonist, and then have her be the main boss.
In Square Enix defense, when they first saw Frozen in production and decided Frozen was going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3, the movie hadn't been released yet, and Let It Go hadn't been made yet.
Well, yes.
Let It Go was the Let It Go in the game?
Yes, they put it in the game, but they didn't initially plan to put that song in the game.
Right, plus they kind of had to do that because Disney started kind of twisting their arm on that, because they were like, all right, we got a sequel for this movie coming out this year. No, you cannot make Elsa look bad, even if you redeem her at the end. You can't do that.
That's basically what happened, yeah. No, we...
They could have just had us fight Marshmallow.
Well, I feel like that would have been a little underwhelming, or I feel like what they should have done is they should have kind of taken us through, if they had to go off of everything that was in the movie, they should have taken us through the entire second half of the movie, since you kind of going into the world towards the second half.
Hans literally appears in the world and doesn't say a word.
Yeah, you don't even see his face, and then he's the main antagonist of the world. It's like, no, you should have just taken us through those scenes. Okay, now we as the player, even if we've already seen this movie, we understand why Hans is the bad guy of this world. Okay, we start to see the darkness kind of taking a hold of him. Kingdom of Corona did what they should have done for Arendelle, where, the mother was, slowly, getting that stuff brought out of her, and then, Marluxia just shows up and was like, oh, here you go, and then was that, but...
They could have totally, had Larxene tempt Hans even further, the way Marluxia tempted Mother Gothel.
Larxene could have done something like, oh, if you do what I say, the kingdom of Arendelle is yours. Make that promise to him or whatever, because what he wants, and then
there should have been less mountain.
Yeah, there should have been less mountain. I was genuinely hoping that we would have gotten to explore the Kingdom of Arendelle at one point in that world.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah, because you explore Kingdom of Corona, and it's like, oh, this is actually really cool. I like going through this town
and a dancing mini game at
all
the
these
ball.
different worlds. Yeah, Yeah, because like one of the big things about Kingdom Hearts 3 was that the worlds were full of people just doing random things now. You know, like they started that off in Twilight Time when it was like, oh my god, there's like 60 NPCs on screen. I don't. Yeah.
Hey, they started that in Olympus. But yet,
Actually, no.
Rescuing.
Yeah, they did.
Anyway, we'll move on. Final game, Melody and Memory. Thoughts on that one? Because I know you do enjoy that one.
I am a sucker for rhythm games, so yeah, no, that's already immediately one of my favorites. The second that they said Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, I was like, oh my god. The first thing that came to my mind was, am I going to get to play 13th Struggle in a rhythm game? And sure enough, that was like the first song they showed in the trailer, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
It was also, that was actually the moment that I realized, Nomura is actually crazy, because who in their right mind makes a rhythm game canon to the story?
Oh, yeah, no, he was crazy for that. That didn't convince me that the man was insane. What convinced me that the man was insane was when he hid some lore in a hotel room. That was when I realized.
Was that real?
That is confirmed.
It is real.
What lore did they hide in a hotel room?
It was that Oathkeeper Keyblade. It's different. It's going to have something to do with Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, I'm happy with that because Oathkeeper is like the bbest Keyblade, but...
Yeah.
It's going to turn out, it's like, the reference material just wasn't that good, and they made the key really, really poorly. So, it's canon now.
Well, plus, like,
he's trying to make Smash Brothers canon.
Yes, yeah. Well, plus there was the whole thing with making that whole like anniversary venue like essentially part of the lore with the whole secret alphabet thing that no one's deciphered yet.
Oh, is it the alphabet that's in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer?
Yeah, because remember there was like that thing that was put out with the words Kingdom Hearts 4 in that alphabet, and then you see that alphabet appearing throughout the trailer in places that actually appeared in that venue, and now you're sitting here like, well, that's part of the lore. Now I got to figure that out.
Speaking of the future of the games,
this
is something we haven't talked about in the series on the podcast yet. Kingdom Hearts 4 Missing Link. What do we think of all the stuff that's coming out soon? So we've got Dark Road in a couple of months. Missing Link soon after.
Yeah, I dedicated my life to Union Cross, so I'm gonna
Union Cross.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna be playing Dark Road all the way to completion. I've already played what they have so far, and then I'm gonna, dedicate hours and days of my life to Missing Link when that comes out on mobile. And
as long as you don't do like the naming game thing like they did with Kingdom Hearts 3, because aren't like most of those bots? Oh god, you guys went very silent. You okay?
Wait, yeah. Wait, what do you mean? Like,
so do you know the moment when Sora calls upon the light of the past and beats down the giant Heartless, and all of those names appear on the side?
Yeah.
From what I heard, most of those were freaking bots. So when it was announced that the top 500 players at Union Cross would get into Kingdom Hearts 3, people just created bots to just absolutely wreck the game.
Yeah, because they wanted their name to appear in the
their bot. It wasn't even their name. They were literally bot names.
Yeah. It was just the most generic crap. It wasn't vetted properly. It really should have been a lot better than it was.
There was a lot of messy stuff surrounding like Kingdom Hearts 3 when it was starting to finally come out. Like, you had the whole botting thing with Union Cross. You also had the numerous leaks, just copies getting falling off a truck, air quotes falling off of trucks, and getting leaked out to the public for Xbox and everything.
That whole thing.
It got to the point wwhere Nomura had to hide the ending of the game behind a patch that would come out on day one.
Yeah.
So, there was a lot of nutty stuff that was happening there. Everyone had to get off of YouTube for like a month so that they wouldn't get spoiled. Unfortunately, I did end up seeing Roxas's return thanks to friggin' YouTube.
Dude, and some people don't even care. They'll literally just title a video, Sora's death, Roxas's return, Kingdom Hearts 3, and you're like...
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, I was going through the settings to, like, mute Kingdom Hearts from my timeline. Yeah. And the second I opened up the app, it was like, Roxas's return, and I was like, man, come on!
I was actually lucky, so, like you guys, I took time off from work specifically to play this game. And
I was also lucky I didn't get spoiled at all.
But I played the game on stream, so because I was a really, really small streamer at the time, and I technically still am, even though I gave up now. I played the whole thing there, so I was sort of forced to play the game just as and when it came. I kept myself away from all the news feeds. I ended up completing it in about 3 days. Just because I consistently played it.
Same.
All just to avoid spoilers. And it's really fucking depressing that I have to do that.
That makes me sad about games and movies and shit that I'm super hyped about too. Yeah. Is that sometimes you just want to drag them out for about a week or two, but you can't because they're gonna get spoiled for you.
That's what I did for Kingdom Hearts 3. I beat that game in one sitting because I wanted to avoid any more spoilers. And then I did the same thing for Final Fantasy VII Remake when that came out to avoid spoilers. So that is kind of my unfortunate habit that I've picked up now.
Okay. Spoilers for Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Can I say them?
Sure.
I mean,
Aerith dies.
That's one of them.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know?
I did not know that Aerith died because I'd never played the original game. I didn't know. After the game, as some people may know, I work at GameStop. So they were talking about it. One of these stupid. I'm not gonna throw her name out on podcast. But the stupid girl who was she's a streamer that was ranting about the games, and in the middle of the sentence, she just goes, "It is one of the greatest games of all time. It's got amazing characters. The world is good." And one of the most heartbreaking moments in all of gaming. Aerith's death to this day makes me cry, and I looked up at the screen Aerith's what?
Yeah.
And she shows the scene!
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, I remember that was a thing, too. That was a thing that Square Enix put out where they were like,
I had no idea that she died.
I remember, because I was actually working at GameStop at that time, too. And,
I'm sorry.
Well, no, because I already knew. I played through the original game. But I remember that was a thing that, everyone, in the Square Enix, or in the Final Fantasy community agreed on, which is don't spoil the original game. There's a whole new generation of people experiencing this game for the first time. Let's just let them experience it. And, that, wow, no, I remember that. I remember because that was a thing that was, on, TV or whatever.
Yeah, it was on the GameStop TV.
Yeah, on the GameStop TV, and I was like, oh, that sucks for anybody who doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep, so I was there just doing inventory or whatever one day, and she just said that, and there's the slow look back to the TV, excuse me?
Even on my streams, because I streamed, I didn't stream Kingdom Hearts 3, I kept that to myself. I recorded my reaction to the ending of the game because I was in a pool of tears, but Final Fantasy VII I actually streamed, and every time something came up with regards to the game, and I'm of course not going to go into any more spoilers for the game so that you don't get spoiled, but anytime a character or something came up on the screen there, I was always like, oh boy, I never said anything explicitly, but I was always sitting there
it was gonna happen.
Yeah. But even then, with Remake, that might not even be a complete spoiler for that game because that game's kind of going off and making its own timeline at this point.
That's the thing. I was just going to say, with Remake, I don't know whether you call this a spoiler or not, but the entirety of the first game, Remake, pretty much plays exactly the same as the original Final Fantasy VII. As in, the entirety of Midgard. they do add some stuff in the middle, but for the most part, they don't change anything until right at the end.
Yeah, at the end, certain parts happen where they're sitting there and you're like, okay, this is a little bit different. They towards the middle, they hint at the fact that, like, oh, this might be a little bit different. At the end, they full on just go, this is different. Yeah. You don't know what's going on.
So I'm...
Nomura! Yes, Nomura.
Motorbike just went straight past my house, and 2 o'clock in the morning. Why can't they be quieter?
Right.
But yeah, no, there are certain characters who I'm not going to name for spoiler reasons, who die during the Midgar section, and in the original game, stay dead. Like, you never see them again. In Remake, you see them okay, and they're alive, and you're like, huh. The sequel's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, and then there's a thing with, for you, Marcus, with the Crisis Core remake that's coming out. You're gonna want to avoid spoilers for Crisis Core if you haven't already been spoiled on that, because that game... Okay, good. Because that game actually is not going to change anything. They confirmed it's going to be exactly the same. So you're going to want to avoid spoilers for that one.
Yeah. Well, didn't they just announce the next game for the remake series, which is...
Yeah, Rebirth.
And
that one showcased a moment from the game that I recognize. I'm not going to say what it is for the sake of spoilers, but they did showcase a moment that I recognize.
Okay, then in your professional opinion... where do you think Rebirth's going to end?
I think Rebirth... So they confirmed that it's going to be 3 parts. And I think it's going to end at the exact same point that Disc 2 ends. So Disc 1 for Final Fantasy VII was all of Midgar until they leave Midgar. That is where they ended Part 1. Disc 2 is from when they first get out of Midgar to a certain point in the story that I will not name. A lot of people know it.
Is it the moment that Marcus mentioned earlier? Which
it is okay. That death. It ends right there.
Okay.
And then Disc 3 is everything after that. So I think that's what they're going to end up doing, is going from like them leaving Midgar all the way up to that death, or if they even do that death, because there's rumors. Yeah, because there's rumors that it might be another character.
They're gonna kill off.
Better fucking not.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, what, are they gonna kill off like Tifa or something?
They better fucking not.
They're gonna kill off Barrett.
Man, that gave me a heart attack in that part. But like they and then Disc 3 or Part 3 is probably gonna be like all of Disc 3. Well, whatever they do for Disc 3, because at this point it's gonna be just completely off the rails.
Final Fantasy VII, remember.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like, I don't know. Well, Reunion's already what Crisis Core is being called, but
spoiler alert: we're actually making the 3rd game. It's Final Fantasy VII retranslated.
Yeah, retranslated. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. Like I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm pretty sure that's where that second part's gonna end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to talk about. We could talk about the song videos that we've done, because I wanted to talk about your rendition of "See the Girl" that almost channel deleted.
that got a big laugh out of me when you said that. I was like, wow, am I that close to the...
So, if for people who aren't familiar with what we do, between all the retranslated videos, we decided, hey, let's do some fun stuff. Like, it's how this podcast started. Just got bored and decided to record ourselves talking about random bullshit. But we decided to do some music videos of us just singing some stuff. Sorry, I just hit the cough. Give me a second. Oh, God. I'll probably cut that. But yeah, we all got to choose a song that it had to come from the first game, the first Kingdom Hearts game, and it had to be a song that was in the original movie from this game. Now, Jack started off by doing... Oh, what did he do? One Jump Ahead?
One Jump Ahead, yeah.
Yep. One Jump Ahead from Aladdin. Which I guess we'll talk about that. We'll just go through each of the songs. So, Jack's rendition of that, I love that.
Oh yeah, no, that was a fantastic version of that song.
The fact that he sang
He had the
all
energy
parts,
for it.
He sang all the parts. Instead of asking us to help with harmonies, he sang the concubine part, the washer-lader part, the guards, obviously Aladdin.
Cake is rather tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that sort of set the precedent of what this video was going to be. And then was it Little Wendy who did the next song?
You're
she
talking
did
about
from Alice.
Yeah.
World of My Own.
World of My Own, that's it.
Yeah.
She did World of My Own from Alice in Wonderland, which I didn't even know was a song. I've not watched the movie in years.
I didn't either.
But she actually added her own sound effects, which made it sound a little bit crackly. And it came out really, really good. Because Little Wendy just has this amazing voice for old-timey girls. She voices...
Oh my god, she does.
She's phenomenal.
She doesn't voice Alice for our project, but she does voice Alice for other stuff. And she also did the voice for Wendy from Peter Pan. And she also did the voice of Carrie's grandmother for our project, which, amazingly enough, was also done by the same voice actress who did Alice and Wendy in that game.
Yeah.
So it's okay, clearly our little Wendy is wanting to become this voice actress, basically.
I honestly, for a split second, was convinced that we accidentally had that voice actress.
Oh god. What's the next one? Was it Marcus's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus's rendition of Jack's Lament from Number 4
Nightmare.
Christmas, which was so good. I basically forced him into doing What's This next time.
Yeah, because he goes to Christmas Town.
Yep.
I just want you to do What's This? What's this? What's this?
What's this?
There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air.
Can just for a bit of fun, it'll never appear in the podcast, but could you do the rude version, which is the fuck?
The fuck?
What's this? There's white shit everywhere. Yeah, no.
I like when he looks in the kid's window and he goes, "The fuck?"
No, Jack's Lament is such a powerful song in that movie. It's so good.
Man, I'm making me want to go back and watch that movie now.
I was just thinking the same thing.
A lot of the music in Night Before Christmas is very good.
Yeah, I still listen to the This Is Halloween song on the way to work sometimes.
They should put Oogie Boogie's song in there.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty damn good villain song. I did see something the way off. Moving on to the next song, which was Myself. Now I had some trouble choosing which song to do because I originally was going to do a Tarzan world. And then Cosa said that he might do a Tarzan world, so I thought, I don't really want two of them to be.
You'd have gotten full Phil Collins.
Oh god, yeah.
Right. Right. Either that or what was it? Trash in the Camp, Rosie O'Donnell.
Shooba-dooba.
Oh god. No, but we we said, I'll do that. So I did a rendition of Hercules, one more day or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
Go the distance.
Go the distance. My mind goes blank sometimes.
I couldn't remember it either.
Yeah, I did a rendition of Go the Distance, and I put it this way: this is what I was. This is how I was expecting everyone to sing. So if everyone was really, really bad at singing, you'd have gotten me singing Go the Distance. But everyone stepped up their game, and I was like, shit, now I'm going to have to sing a song I can actually sing. And that's when I decided to do Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
It's not even a world in that game, it's represented by a collectathon.
Technically it's there.
It's a house. It
The
is
house is
represented
there.
by a
I
house.
say that counts. I say the house is there. I think that counts.
Close.
God. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably say, like, my rendition of Cruella de Vil is really, really bad, but you guys tell
Wasn't
me
bad.
it's good, so, like,
Yeah.
I'll say that it's good. Cool. Great. And then we get on to Mr. Problem Child here, Cosa.
This is where the
Who's-
lost
Mr. DMCA himself.
Yeah. Cosa did a rendition of Kiss the Girl from Little Mermaid, which was so good that it got caught up in Disney's DMCA stuff.
That genuinely surprised
And
me. Oh yeah.
It muted the entire video. I'm like, crap. Okay.
first announced that Disney filed a copyright, I thought it was against one of our like Kingdom Hearts videos. I was like, are we gonna have to cancel the entire series? But when you said it was one video, I was like, oh,
They
thank
did
you.
actually DMCAR Part 5, I think it is. The one
With,
with the
Nightmare,
Halloween
right?
Town. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, it's
Which
probably
is why
'cause
there's
of
an
that,
odd amount of silence at one point,
Yeah,
is
just-
because you had to remove the music.
Yeah.
but no, what
Yeah.
it's not silent. What I ended up doing was I
With the
removed
wind.
the song and I replaced it with wind, yeah. So it's not completely silent, but yeah, there's no song.
They're- I've seen that they're very protective of that song. Though honestly, when you said that there was a copyright on that video, I thought that it was Lil Wendy's song because I was like, oh, that would make sense. Like,
Yeah.
hers was just that good, but
No, yeah, apparently Disney don't give a shit about that song because here you have Costa singing a perfect rendition of a golden age of it's a Renaissance Disney song.
yeah.
Yeah, the 90s, they're very protective over that.
Mm.
And which, like, that. I mean, the song itself that doesn't surprise me. It's just the fact that it was like a cover of that song where they're just like, oh, I gotta know. It was like, whoa.
Well, no, that's exactly what I'd say. So I was allowed to keep the audio up as long as I stayed unpublished.
Right.
So we had to stay unpublished until it was all settled. So I sent off a message to the company that basically claimed against us. And I said, hey, look, this video is very clearly a covers video. We have different songs playing in there from our different voice actors singing them. It just so happens that this one particular guy can sing pretty damn closely to the original.
This one guy decided not to tell us that he can sing.
And a month later, I got the email saying that Disney dropped it.
Which, yeah, that was definitely a nice sigh of relief when I heard that.
Yeah. So if you want to go and listen to quite possibly one of the best versions of Kiss the Girl, go onto that video. It is mulled down the fact that you do have to go through my version of Cruella de Vil first, though. And finally, the last person was Janorama, who did Beauty and the Beast.
Hers was amazing.
Yes.
So for anyone who doesn't know who Janorama is, she did our cover of Simple and Clean, which we dubbed Complicated and Messy. And it was basically just the retranslated version of that, and I sort of sent the message out to her saying, "Hey, do you want to sing something really, really dumb? Because we really like your voice." And she was like, "Hell yeah, I'll sing something dumb." I sent her the script, and they're like, "Yeah, you want me to sing this?" Yeah, is that going to be a problem? So, give me half an hour. And
I'll have it to you before lunch.
She sent me a very, very basic scratch track. It was very, very rough. But yeah, no, it was. That's how we knew that Jan was going to be a part of this. And then when we did this music video thing, we thought, "Oh, Jan's good at singing. There you go, do a song for this." And she closes out the video with "Beauty and the Beast," which is just an amazing cover.
Very.
Like, holy crap! Like she harmonizes.
How did she not get copywritten?
No idea. I think it's because the harmonies that she did were very different to the original. Because I don't think there were any harmonies in there. Whereas if you listen to our version, she harmonizes with herself.
Right.
Which is a talent that I wish I had.
Yeah. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, no. But we got to harmonize with her at the Complicated and Messy. We all got to sing,
we did.
We all got to sing parts in that. I say we. Marcus, you were busy for that, weren't you?
For which one?
Did you sing parts for Simple and Clean Retranslated?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
That was, and I don't take offense to it anymore, but that was back when I was mainly just a voice actor, and I didn't really drop into the VC that much.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned it to, I almost said Adam. I mentioned it to Jack once. I was like, I hope Adam likes me. Like, we don't really talk that much.
It's very difficult for me to not like someone. I'll like fucking anyone as long as that came out really, really wrong. Wait a minute.
I didn't want to comment on it. But I was like, damn, alright.
I enjoy anyone's company as long as they're a decent person and their views aren't too out there, you know?
Yeah.
We don't need any more people like, oh, fucking birds don't exist, they're all drones. Like right. I don't need that.
Bourgeoisie! Chemtrails!
There are cameras in the sewers, they can all see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't,
I got this new guy on this project. Oh, what's his name? Alex Jones. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. I want him gone.
You sounded like fucking J. Jonah Jameson.
Bitch is a spider, man.
Get him out of here. I want him
gone. Oh my god.
Marvel retranslated.
We are coming up to the 54th minute of our recording. It's probably a little bit early. We've already ended there, actually. Is there any final thoughts?
Not particularly. I mean, I'm glad to have been here for one of these. I hope to be here for more of them.
Oh, we should probably name the episode, shouldn't we, Marcus?
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing we do, Cosa. We name the episode during the episode.
Oh.
And I have no idea. What were we talking about? Music. We talked about...
Complicated and Messy.
Complicated and Messy. What was the middle? We talking about... What did we talk about in the middle?
The first 20-ish minutes.
Talked about Final Fantasy for a second.
Spoilers. We talked about spoilers and Final Fantasy. Oh. Maybe like sing your spoilers away.
Complicated and Messy Square Enix spoilers. I don't know.
And we also talked about Oathkeeper being like a spoiler.
Oh yeah,
the fucking hotel room.
Yeah.
Complicated and messy lore of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to integrate spoilers.
You can say hotel room may contain spoilers.
hotel room very contained.
Okay, yeah, no, that's the title. That's the title.
It's funny because we just brushed over that too.
It's such a small, insignificant part of the podcast. They're gonna think, what the hell are they on about? Anyway, we'll end it there.
The Kingdom Hearts retranslated song covers number 2 or volume 2 coming 2023.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well,
maybe
we are actually hoping to do another one after we finish Chain of Memories and eventually, hopefully, Days. But we may do one a bit sooner because Chain of Memories is very slow going right now.
Yeah.
And Days is going to be slower.
It is slow going, but like at least Chain of Memories doesn't have that much.
Yeah, there's only 5 parts.
Yeah. It doesn't have that many voiced cutscenes, and we're not sitting there doing every speech bubble.
Yeah, Days is going to be worse. I think Days is going to be about 4 parts.
Yeah.
All of it is going to be condensed speaking, and there's only going to be like 5 different voices.
Yeah.
It's
pretty much Axel, Roxas, Shion,
Sayax.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to really polish up my my Axel, get really comfortable for that.
Yeah, we got I think Zigbar also speaks.
I think he
Zigbar
has.
I
think he has 1 or 2 cutscenes.
Yeah, he has like I think he mainly has that one where he's talking to Shion as about to capture.
I think the only 2 organization members that don't say anything are Demix and Luxord. Or Luxord.
I don't even because Marluxia's in the game. I don't think Marluxia does anything.
None of the Chain of Memories organization members say anything.
Yeah, they just kind of show up.
They were all like the tutorial missions in the game, and none of them had any voice cutscenes.
Remember these guys? Remember when these guys for 10 days?
Remember when Lexius just punches Roxas in the face?
Yes.
It was literally
just lays him out.
Roxas is wondering what the fuck is going on for the first 7 days.
The
next 7 days are following Marluxia, Lexius, Vexen, Larxene, Zexion, and I think Axel is one of the missions.
Yeah, and then he shows up and he's like, alright, I'm leaving.
Yeah. And then that's it. Like, all those 7 just go off to the castle. And only Axel comes back, day 20-something?
Yeah, Axel comes back just covered in the blood of his allies.
Day 80 or something like that. He's gone for a very long time.
Oh yeah, he was the cleanup. He was the cleanup crew.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't away that long initially.
Because day 25 is when Roxas and Shion go and fight the dark side together. Don't ask me how I know that.
We ended this episode about 3 minutes ago.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We're the only podcast that can go on a tangent at the end. Anyway, we'll see people around. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. We're very talkative people.